Welcome to Get Sleepy. Welcome, dear listener, to Get Sleepy, the podcast where we gently drift into rest, guided by calm storytelling and a peaceful presence. Thank you for joining us and for letting this show be a part of your bedtime ritual. Tonight, we journey to ancient Japan, to a land rich in history and poetry, where every path is steeped in story and spirit. Our tale is quiet and humble, that of a simple farmer and the dream that changed his life on a rainy afternoon. But before we begin, let's ease into stillness. Take a deep breath in and let it go slowly. Feel your body melt a little deeper into your bed. Let your eyes gently close, if they haven't already, and soften the muscles in your face and jaw. Let your mind simply follow the story, not too closely, but just enough to quiet the noise of the day. Now picture a butterfly, delicate wings, slow and gentle in their rhythm. Its colors are bright and vivid, gliding effortlessly through the air. It dances near a tree that rises from the lush, green earth. Above, the sky is heavy and gray. From within the clouds, a single raindrop forms, then another, and another, until the sky begins to sing its soft, rhythmic lullaby. The butterfly tucks into a hollow in the tree, resting quietly as the rain begins to fall. And there, beneath the shelter of that very tree, in a peaceful village surrounded by fields, our story begins. Akinosuke's dream. Akinosuke was a modest farmer, his days spent beneath the open sky, tending the earth with steady hands and a generous heart. One afternoon, a sudden rainstorm scattered the farmers from their work. They laughed and ran to the wide arms of a great cedar tree for shelter. There, beneath its sheltering branches, they shared food and warm conversation. Raindrops tapped gently on the leaves above, as bowls of rice and cups of broth passed between old friends. In that moment of rest and laughter, a small butterfly fluttered in from the rain, landing softly on Akinosuke's knee. He raised his hand to brush it away, but an elder beside him held up a hand. "In dreams," the old man whispered, "our souls travel as butterflies. Where they go, stories are born." Akinosuke smiled at the curious thought. He wasn't sure he believed it, but he let the butterfly be. Not long after, bellies full and spirits light, Akinosuke leaned back against the great cedar's trunk. The voices of his companions faded into a soft murmur, and before he knew it, he was asleep. Time passed quietly. Then gently, he began to wake. But something had changed. The laughter of his friends was gone. The air was quiet, save for the gentle drip of rain. He opened his eyes and found himself alone beneath the cedar. Mist curled around the roots of the tree, and a soft fog rolled across the fields. Out of that fog, shapes began to form. Figures approached, not the familiar faces of his fellow farmers, but men and women dressed in silk robes of gold and crimson, hair adorned with jewels and pins, sandals carved with intricate designs. Akinosuke rose quickly and bowed low. The leader, an elder with a warm smile and twinkling eyes, stepped forward. "There is no need to bow," he said kindly. "We come on behalf of our queen. She has asked for you, and you alone." Confused but intrigued, Akinosuke listened as they explained. The queen required his help, a humble man, known for his wisdom and care, to govern a distant island that had fallen into hardship. Though surprised, Akinosuke agreed. Silken robes of silver and blue were presented to him, and to his astonishment, they fit perfectly. And so, he joined the royal procession. Their journey took them over hills and rivers, through dense forests and quiet villages, until at last they stood before a grand palace. Inside, the queen awaited. Her chamber shimmered with light and luxury. Tapestries told stories in silk. Lanterns cast golden glows upon rugs and fine mats. The queen herself wore robes so luminous they seemed to glow from within. She welcomed him gently, her voice soft, yet strong enough to command the room. She spoke of his diligence, his kindness, and how his spirit was exactly what the island needed. And so, Akinosuke accepted the role of governor, ready to serve a land and people he had never known. The island life. The days that followed were filled with preparations, and soon Akinosuke set sail with his advisors. The boat glided down a wide river, its white sails billowing in the wind. He stood at the bow, the sun warming his hands, cool air brushing through his hair. The gentle rocking of the boat lulled him into a peaceful quiet. When the island appeared on the horizon, he saw rich, green fields and towering trees. The earth beneath his feet felt alive, soft, fertile, and full of promise. His new home was smaller than the palace, but filled with comfort. Warm rooms, soft chairs, a bed that embraced him at night. Warm rooms, soft chairs, a bed that embraced him at night. In time, he came to know the people of the island, and together they nurtured the land. Under his care, the island flourished. Fields bloomed, harvests thrived, and joy returned to the villagers. And when the first great harvest came, Akinosuke held a festival for all, a feast beneath the stars, laughter, music, and light dancing in the warm night air. And so the seasons passed. Akinosuke, once a simple farmer beneath a cedar tree, now lived a dream so vivid, so filled with wonder, that he never once stopped to ask if it was real. But perhaps, dear listener, that is the nature of dreams, not to question, but simply to live them, until they gently lead us back, softly, peacefully, to where we began. So rest now and let your own soul drift like a butterfly into dreams of silken robes and faraway islands, of quiet rain and warm, rich soil. Good night.